Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to go ahead and introduce you to a training on a landing page and how to go about creating the perfect one for your home care agency. Now, in case you don't know what a landing page is, it's a standalone web page designed with a single focus, converting visitors into leads or customers. Okay, and unlike your main website, the landing page has one main focus in mind, and that's the specific action you want your visitor to take. Now, just so you can understand who exactly this training is for, typically when it comes to online marketing for home care agencies, you'll have people online looking up home care. Your website will appear, let's say, somewhere on the top. Ideally, they'll go ahead and click on your web page. From there, they'll go ahead and give you a call, or they'll inquire either by giving you a call or submitting a form. If they're qualified, you'll go ahead and have them book in their in-home assessments, and then from there, when you're in the home, you'll go ahead and admit them and enroll them as a client, right? Now, the purpose of the landing page actually comes right here, right? So this is where the landing page kind of sits in this whole marketing slash sales process. Now, if you do not have this right here, there is literally nothing else will follow, right? So this is where this training is for. If you already are generating intention, right? If you're doing stuff like paid traffic, okay, this is gonna be ads, okay, specifically like Google ads, Facebook ads, etc. That's one way to go ahead and generate attention, getting people to go ahead and see you. Okay, another way is going to go ahead and being organic traffic, right? This is stuff like people are able to see how many, because you have a lot of reviews, you have a lot of customers that have left great reviews, and you're appearing, let's say, number one in your local area. So a lot of this would be what is called SEO. Okay, SEO just stands for search engine optimization, and that's pretty much where you're building your online reputation and you're ranking above your competitors. Okay, so if you have these two different ways online to go ahead and get attention online, right? Get people who, not just any attention, right? You don't just want random people who aren't even looking for home care to go on your website. You want people who are looking for home care, right? That are searching for stuff like home care agencies near me, home health agencies near me, all these different kind of home care related search terms. You want them to go ahead and click on your website. Now, the purpose of the landing page actually plays a role more specifically when it comes to ads. Now, if you think about the way ads work and the psychology behind them, people are typically looking for, and especially when it comes to home care, they're looking ideally to go ahead and get on the phone with somebody to go ahead and speak to them. You know, they're having a situation, let's say, with their relative, with their spouse, whoever it is, and they're looking to see if you can go ahead and help them. So they're trying to see the quickest way to go ahead and actually speak to a representative or a care specialist as soon as possible. And typically that's going to be from ads. Now, when it comes to organic traffic, you're going to want, probably instead of website, a really good, well-designed website, since most people who are going to find you from SEO are going to be people that are looking kind of through the maps. They're looking through, kind of searching through different, maybe other competitors, and they're trying to see which one is a great fit on paper, right, on the website. But now that we got that out of the way, okay, and as you understand who this training is for, right, you ideally already need to be doing this part right here. Okay, I need to be at least generating attention through online, right, through ads or through organic traffic, to go ahead and then actually consider worrying about your landing page. Okay, and then the rest kind of follows through, right? So now that we got that out of the way, let's get a little bit deeper just to kind of build a better distinction in case that it wasn't clear already. Okay, so unlike your main website, which provides, some type of, it's mainly informational. Okay, people can see your services, your about you page, these different informational stuff. Okay, a landing page instead, it has one objective. Okay, so that's gonna be like, give us a call, right, or submit a form. There's going to be nothing else. There's going to be no navigation menu. There's not going to be an about us page. There's not going to be a services page. It's going to be one page where literally the only thing you can do if you want to go ahead and move forward and interact with the website is to go ahead and give you a call or submit a form, right? And again, the main purpose is designed specifically to get people to inquire, right? That's pretty much the main purpose of it. Now, this is important, okay, building this out, because this is allows you to get people to go ahead and convert more often or inquire more often than if you just go ahead and left your web page, right? So first things first, after speaking to almost 200 different home care agencies, kind of doing their audits, checking their online marketing process, etc., I've seen that one, uh, some home care agencies don't have websites. Second, if they do, right, then it's not optimized to go ahead and actually bring traffic on. Either they made it themselves, maybe like on GoDaddy, which is, of course, that's not a problem, especially in the early stages. That's kind of what you need to do. But if it was done, let's say by a professional or by a website company, um, typically, again, that those websites are more informational. Okay, you want something that's going to cause action, get people to go ahead and take action that you want them to take. And especially if it's coming from ads, again, remember, you're paying for their clicks, right? You're paying for them to go ahead and actually go on your website. So you want to make sure you're getting the most return out of your investment. It essentially captures more leads effectively, right? When people are on your website, they're kind of surfing through pages, right? Like, for example, here's one of my clients' websites. They're going on here, they're going on your About Us, they're checking out your services. They're saying, oh, okay, cool, I need, I just came from a hospital. Okay, they're checking out this, they're reading. But, maybe, something happens with the kids, right? Because they're looking for care for their mom. And they have their kids playing in the background, they forget what they're doing. Oh, they actually have something to do. Boom, they click off, right? So instead, you want to go ahead and have something, a page where, hey, it's quick information, very summarized information about normally what they'd find on your website, and boom, they go ahead and are able to go ahead and submit that. Okay. So, again, you want to go ahead and design this landing page in mind for one main person. Okay, well, technically two, but the primary person that's going to be looking for this are going to be the adult children searching for care for their parents. And so this is, again, typically going to be anywhere between 45 to 65, even sometimes younger. Okay. And of course, concern other family members, maybe like a cousin, a nephew, who is also making healthcare decisions. And then secondary audience typically is going to be the seniors looking for themselves, right? Care for themselves or for their spouse. Or it could be healthcare professionals looking to make referrals. Now, this rarely happens, but not necessarily healthcare professionals, as well as and community members, right? So it could be like organizations or groups that they're looking for somebody to go ahead and take care of, maybe somebody on their group, or kind of the whole thing. Okay, and so this is primarily who is going to be the people who are going on this page and who you're designing it for. Okay, so let's talk about the essential components of a landing page and what actually makes a successful landing page. So there's going to be something called above the fold. Now, above the fold is pretty much how it's when people first go onto the website, what is the first thing they see, right? And most people actually only stay on the page about 70% of the time and only see the first part of the page. So let's say, for example, this is one of the landing pages I've created for one of my clients, Care at Home by JFS. When somebody goes ahead, I'll refresh the page. When somebody goes in here, what is the first thing they see, right? This is the first thing they see before scrolling. That's what it's called, the above the fold. You want to make sure that all the relevant information that they need in order to go ahead and take action, okay, is on the above the fold. Rarely ever, if people already find everything they need here on this page, they're less likely to go ahead and bounce off the page, okay, and stay on it and actually do exactly what you want them to, right? And then I'm going to explain more on the above the fold, but that's pretty much what you want to focus on. You want to focus on exactly the essentials they need to know and making sure they're on the right page in the above the fold. You don't want them to scroll down and be like, wait, am I actually in the right page? So that's pretty much it. Okay. And so right here, you want to make sure in the above the fold you have a great headline. Okay, so here, for example, you have get local and affordable senior care near you. Now this is actually coming from an ad, and pretty much the whole concept of the ad is getting affordable senior care. Okay, so people go in, you want to make sure that it's relevant, right? It ties on to not what was just said on the ad, but also that's also said here as well on the page. And then you also want to create a sub headline that is addressing the main points, right? Do you think home care services can be expensive? Think no further, right? Again, it's talking more about expenses here and saying how they can go ahead and submit a form to go ahead and find affordable senior care. You want a high quality, authentic image. Okay, so here, for example, this you don't want just a necessary stock picture. Ideally, you want to go ahead and put a picture of uh, a picture that you had with maybe one of your clients, taking care of one of your clients, or one of your care or administrators or care coordinators going ahead and doing that. And then, of course, you want a call to action button. That's a CTA, call to action. Okay. So I want you to notice three things, or actually four things. Well, three things they can do to go ahead and automatically interact. They can go ahead and see this top banner here. It says click to speak to a care rep. They can go ahead and click here to go ahead and get a call. Okay, they go in here. They also are able to go ahead and submit a form, right? Talking about, hey, I'm a senior citizen, or I'm a family member of a person in need of care. I'm looking to go ahead and inquire about home care services. And then, you kind of go ahead and put a description here, your name, phone number, and then they're able to go ahead and submit that form and go ahead and give a call, as well as a button here in the above the fold, speak to a care expert in less than 5 minutes. They're going also to go ahead and click to call, as well as here. Now, that's like pretty much like the easiest things they can do, right? Like right off the bat. They keep scrolling down, which we'll go ahead and get into now. Learn more about services. They can go ahead and click to call, contact us now, click to call us now, right? So you see the only thing they can do here, the only thing that is able to happen is for them to go ahead and inquire. Okay. Now you also want to make sure you're having a services section, okay? Because some people, they'll want to make sure that you have the type of care that they're looking for, right? So if somebody's looking for memory care, let's say, they see that you don't have that here, that's fine. You don't want them to inquire because you probably don't do that, right? Especially here, like my clients here, they don't do that. So that's fine. You want to make sure that they are at least kind of self qualifying themselves. So you're making sure that you're not getting people that are not qualified. Okay. So there's one. You want to have a services section. Typically, you want to have it with the icons, a quick description. Doesn't have to be anything too long, and that's it, right? So services section, you want to have some type of credibility elements. So this can be like client testimonials, right? Ideally with some real photos. If not, that's not an issue, right? How many years you've been in business, any insurance details, what type of maybe, payments you accept Medicaid, VA, right? Awards and certifications, you can put that on the bottom. Okay, like if you're CHAP certified, all these different things. And then of course, any professional affiliations, maybe if you're affiliated with a group, a popular group amongst yourselves, like for example, Care at Home here, they are associated with Jewish communities. So of course, they have their associations down there. And then of course you want to make sure, right? One of the most important things is, I would say the two most important things is the above the fold and mobile optimization. Now, this means that when most people who are going on this page, especially if they're coming from online, I would say about 70 to 80% of that traffic, or the people that are going on there, are going to be coming through phone. Okay. And so you want to make sure when they first load in, they're seeing something that is relevant to them and it looks nice. Okay, so typically you want to have this page designed with that in mind. Okay, so for example here, they see the headline, they see the sub headline, they see the form, and everything still looks crystal clean, right? They have the services page, our promise, and then pretty much everything else. Everything is there for them. Everything looks good. I can't tell you how many times we go onto our clients' websites, and typically we'll see that they built out a good page, but when you open it on your phone, it does not look good at all. And that's really, really bad, since most people who are coming here are going to be coming from their phone. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can use an extension called Mobile Simulator. You can find it on the Google Chrome extension store to go ahead and be able to see how your website looks via mobile. Okay. So there's that. Another thing is you want to make sure that the page is loading fast enough. Now, it doesn't have to be blazing fast, like instantaneous, but ideally it should be under 3 seconds. Okay. Anybody who's going to having to wait, 5-8 seconds for a page to load, people just don't have the attention span to kind of wait that long anymore, unfortunately. So you need to make sure that, maximum is under 5 seconds. Okay. Anything more than that, You're gonna notice that a lot of people, they are clicking on the page, but they're not converting at all into any inquiries. Okay, and that's a big major problem. Lastly, of course, you want to keep it short and simple. Okay, you want to have max 3 to 5 sections. Okay, so again, you can have your above the fold, right? We'll count that as one section. Your services, your credibility, right? Which is already right there, maybe 4 sections, and then your footer, right? The kind of the bottom information on the page, like right here, for example. Right here, for example, you have the need and call us now, right? So, just about 3 to 5 seconds. It shouldn't really be long. It should take maybe a couple scrolls, 3, 4 scrolls max before they hit the bottom, right? Again, we don't want to overwhelm them with information, right? We just want to give them enough information to make sure they're, one, they're qualifying themselves, and second, they're comfortable with going ahead and inquiring and learning more about your services, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's more important to go ahead and get them on the phone, assuming they're qualified, get them on the phone so that your team or you can go ahead and actually work the lead to go ahead and get them to book in their assessment, right? So a couple of things you need to know. How do you know if your landing page is working? Okay, you want to focus on these 3 main metrics. Now, of course, there's more than this, okay, but you want to just pay attention to these, right? Especially if this is something you're still new to. So number 1 is your conversion rate. Out of how many people that have visited, so number of visitors, right? Out of how many of those people have actually completed the call to action. Now, the call to action, again, here in this case, is going to be to go ahead and give my client a call as well as submit a form. Okay, so, how many of those people that actually visited on the page didn't just go on here and then leave? Okay, so that's your conversion rate. Now, there's going to be a bounce rate. Okay, so that means out of the visitors that came, how many people left the page and did not interact with anything on it? Now, of course, that's going to be the people that didn't inquire. And so that's typically going to be, people who came in here and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and click out. Right? Now, you want to make sure you're measuring that as well, right? You want the bounce rate to be as low as possible and the conversion rate to be as high as possible, as well as the time on page. How long does someone stay on the page? Now, typically, people who stay on longer, right, are more likely to opt in. But just because people are staying on longer doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, right? At the end of the day, you want somebody to kind of come on the page, right? Let's say, kind of go scroll through the page for a minute or two, and then finally go ahead and make that decision. Now, typically, that can take 1 to 2 minutes. You want to kind of find the sweet spot after collecting some data from running ads, bringing traffic over to this page. And you want to see where's the sweet spot, right? If you notice people are only staying on the page, let's say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, then that's something that you should pay attention to and say, okay, people are not staying on the page very long. Why is that? Is there something on the headline that's not resonating? Maybe they saw something on the ad and they're seeing something different on the landing page, right? So these are all different indicators that, you need to go ahead and check the whole process and making sure that it's as succinct or as symmetrical as possible through all stages. Okay. Now, here's a pro tip, right? If you're going ahead and creating your own, you want to go ahead and leverage AI tools. Okay. So AI tools, this could be, for specifically when it comes to the text, for example, you can use ChatGPT or copy.ai. Okay. When it comes to actually creating any images, now I would recommend images if you don't have any, right? Ideally, you're going to put yours, right, with your clients. If you don't have any, just go ahead and put some stock ones, because typically right now, some people might be able to tell that it's an AI generated image and it might turn them off and actually just cause them to click off. So I'd recommend you keep it, if you don't have any, just stock pictures. Okay. But if you are generating pictures, it can be stuff more like around, let's say like the icons, for example, stuff like that. It can be like that. If not, you can find plenty of icons online. And then lastly, you want to go ahead and use analytics, right, to be able to measure and see this, right, your conversion rate, your bounce rate, your time on the page, by using Google Analytics. Okay, so this is something that just kind of hooks up to your website. It's sending traffic from Google anyway, and it syncs it up perfectly, and it gives you stats real time. Okay. Lastly, your recommendation for software. Okay, you want to go ahead and recommend using ClientCare. That's going to be our software that we use for our clients, where we pretty much they're able to go ahead and create their landing pages, or we create it for them, and we're able to go ahead and track its performance. Again, pretty much this thing, right? Time on page, bounce rate, and how many people actually opted in and converted. Lastly, let's go ahead and talk about the action steps, right? Based off everything we did speak so far. So number one, if you do have a landing page, make sure you audit it based off of its performance. You can check out these three main indicators. And I'd recommend you don't do it on a day-to-day basis, right? Because that's kind of too short. You want to check maybe in 7 days, 14 days, bi-weekly or monthly, right? Changes, seeing how things are performing. Then from there, choose a page builder if you haven't already, right? A page builder, again, typically can be client care, or you can use the same builder that you have your website on, okay? You want to go ahead and create some compelling copy and visuals, get people to go ahead and actually want to opt in, right? Again, we recommend using AI as a template, right? As kind of like a draft. You don't want to just go ahead and copy and paste it. You want to go ahead and refine it if you want to see the best performance, okay? Make sure that, put yourself in the perspective of somebody, and, if you're looking to care for your mom, would you go ahead and actually opt into that page based off what it's saying, okay? Set up that tracking and analytics. This way you're able to know if the landing page needs any reworking or not. Launch, go ahead and test the ads for 30 days, collect that data, optimize the page based off that data. Okay, so maybe you might need to change the headline, maybe make the text a bit more brighter so people can read it better and are able to submit it, right? These are little things that you want to go ahead and be picking up on. And then, of course, scale what works. If it's working and you're getting a lot of people inquiring, then, just keep doing that, and keep feeding as much traffic as you can into that web page if it's converting very high. Now, your next steps, okay? If you need any help implementing this, okay, or want some type of marketing audit that we do, you can go ahead and book a free demo call by going ahead and clicking on the link down below to go ahead and speak to me or my team. And we love to kind of show you exactly how we can go ahead and do this for you. If you enjoy this, please go ahead and like, subscribe. It helps the channel very much. And if you'd like to go ahead and see trainings on the other aspects that we talked about in this video, for example, like how to go ahead and actually generate that attention, what are the best traffic sources, go ahead and do that. Pretty much actually even how you can go best practices for when converting leads into go ahead and assessments. Go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. I made trainings on that as well. And I'll go ahead and see you on the next video. Thanks.